Morning, guys. Mrs. Langless here, and we are coming back to our 1-point perspective cityscape drawing. And today we are going to basically focus on filling our paper with buildings so that it really looks like a city. I'm also going to introduce to you how to create a street or another additional side road or side street. And depending on how long all that takes, I will probably also introduce how to create some different roof lines for your buildings to sort of add a little bit more variety. All right, so let's get started. All you need is a ruler and a pencil and, of course, the drawing that you did last week. Please always remember to go nice and lightly with your lines so that you can erase, because a lot of our buildings are going to be overlapping, so you will have to erase. Okay, so let's revisit the general rules of a 1-point perspective drawing. If you have a horizontal line or a vertical line, it must be flush with either the edge of the paper, so the ruler needs to line up with the edge, or, if I was going to be needing to draw a vertical line down here, let's say, I could actually make it flush with a line that I know to already be straight, like this line right here, okay? So horizontals and verticals, the ruler has to be held flush. Otherwise, if you're doing a diagonal, what determines that line is the vanishing point. So it must go to the vanishing point. So if there's any kind of an angled line at all, you can't just draw it willy-nilly on your paper. You have to actually make it go to the vanishing point, okay? So if you're looking at your drawing right now and something looks off, it probably means that you didn't do one of those two things. So go back and fix it, okay? All right, so let's get back to our buildings. I'm gonna just make another building, behind this one right here, and we can kind of practice the steps over again. So what I'm going to do, obviously I wouldn't see the bottom of this building because it's overlapped by this one. So I'm just going to pretend that, let's say, the building comes out maybe about this far. So again, I'm holding it flush up here, and I'm just going to make a vertical line. So I'm going to make a building, I think it kind of makes sense for it to be, let's see, where do we want it to be? I guess I'll make it connected actually to that last one. Because you know how city blocks, often the buildings like share a wall, which I've always thought is really strange, but hey, city living. All right, so I made a vertical line right there. And now I'm going to make a horizontal. Now I'm doing these particular steps, in this order, but if you do them in another order, that's fine, as long as you're following those rules that I just mentioned. So, vertical lines go to, or are flush, okay, with the ruler. Okay, so there's the side of the building. That's all I'm going to see. It's just slightly taller than this one that was in front of it. Now, in order to get the other sides of the building that I'm going to see, the roof and the side of the building here facing the street, I'm going to have to go to the vanishing point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, plop it on the vanishing point, plop it on this corner, and then make a line to show how long that building is. Okay, now I'm going to go to my other one. So I'm just scooting it over to that other corner. Check it once, check it twice. Once you've got it correct, then go ahead and make your line. All right, so now I've got that. Now I need to just close off the building. So I'm going to hold my ruler flush to the side of the paper now so that I can make sure I get a perfectly horizontal line and make that edge. Now, to finish it off, I just need the front edge or side that's facing the road. Vertical line goes to that corner. And of course, the building ends at the street. So boom, right down to the road. Now, if I were to continue, I think this next building that I'm going to do, I'm going to actually make it sort of pop up over the horizon line. So I'm actually going to erase the horizon line right in that section to make that possible. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is make a vertical line coming up, make it flush the top of my paper. Here it is. You know what? I'm going to make it a little bit taller. I don't want it to be the same height as the building across the street. I'm going to make it a little bit taller like that. Okay, and I can notice I was a little off there, so I can come back and fix that later. Now what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to make the other side that, again, it's going to share a wall with that last building I made. So I'm just going to make it a little bit taller. There we are. Okay, horizontal. And then the big difference, again, which we learned with this building, is if the building goes beyond the vanishing point or beyond the horizon line, I'm not going to see the top of the roof, okay, at all. So the only other thing I need to do is the side that's facing the road. So I'm going to make my ruler go to the vanishing point. This will look kind of weird in the beginning, but then it will make sense. So you see this little sliver here, and then I'm just going to make a vertical line that comes down. Oh, I almost broke one of my rules. I was not holding it flush. Caught myself there, and there's the edge that you would see. Okay, so now I think what I'll do is I'm gonna come over to this side, and again, I'm just kind of practicing the way to make buildings here. So if you have, got this part and you just want to continue adding buildings, that's fantastic. In a second, I am going to show you, however, how to create a road. So hang in there if you feel like, oh man, she's going on and on about this, and I already know how to do this. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a building that's much longer and it's shorter than that last building. So I'm just using, now notice how I held it flush to this line. I'm going to make it go over this way. Okay, but now here's where Mrs. Langless starts to get a little bit confusing, because this is the backmost edge of the roof of my building. So watch what I'm going to do next. I'm switching up the order now. See if you guys can still hang with me. This is going to be the top of the roof. So wait till you start to see it happen. See, a normal person making a video, when they make mistakes, they probably would stop it and start over. But as you guys know, Mrs. Langless is not normal, and I am just going to keep it going. All right, well, I need to make this wider, I'm noticing. And this roof's going to go all the way off the edge here. And that's a big building. Holy cow. Now I'm going to go here and maybe to about here. Vanishing point. So I'm doing this top edge of the building. Bam. Okay. So now I'm shortening it. Change my mind. Do that a lot too. All right. So there's the top of the building. I know it looks super weird right now, and I'm also off screen. Now I need to make my vertical. Hopefully I haven't totally lost all of you. Now, what's crazy about this drawing, the way that I've drawn it, is that this building is humongous. So there's only going to be this one huge building here. So I'm going to leave it that way. Now, what I probably would see, though, is I'd probably see some buildings back here. So let's do that. I'm going to erase and make a vertical line, maybe right about here. And again, as I said, you can switch up which lines you're doing as you're doing them. Okay, I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. Little bit taller. My line is a little bit off there, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to make the front edge of this skyscraper. It's going to go to the vanishing point. Line down. Now I'm going to do another edge. And here. And so I've got the edge that's facing this way. Now I need to create the rest of the building. So I'm going to create this part that's going to come over. And notice I'm holding it flush. And off. Okay, so I've got a building here, building here, building here. I could probably, in fact, in a city, you probably wouldn't even see this little area right there. Maybe I'll make another building that kind of goes off the edge here or is really, really tall. So flush. Going up, and then maybe this building, holding it flush. Is here, down. Okay, so that's the side that's facing us. Now what I'm going to do is create this edge, vanishing point to here, slant. Okay, and you just kind of keep on adding buildings. This one's going to be overlapped by that other one in front of it. Okay, so now this side of my street is already full of what looks like huge boxes. So we will eventually turn those into, real looking buildings. So I've got those. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do a street here. So what you can do, and if you want to add more, like I just want to show you for a second. Here's my other one, and you'll notice on this one that you can come down this street, you can go up here, and then there's another street over here. So if you feel like adding in more streets, yours does not have to look just like mine. So, do what you want with this. So I'm going to pretend that there's an intersection right here, and I'm going to create a road. So I'm going to just erase where my road was, and then I'm going to I'm going to hold it flush first. Make your street as wide as you feel like you need to make it. Now this one's going to be perfectly horizontal for now, okay? Now this street, you can turn down here and then you can turn up this block. So to make another street, I'm just gonna find that vanishing point, okay? And I'm gonna make a line, okay? And then, so you'd be able to turn here and go around. Now I'm gonna come to here and to the corner. And, of course, there'd be like a little sidewalk. So that's something you can also add in. I mean, there's so many details you could add in. You want to make a spot for people to walk. So that's probably a good idea. So you could turn this corner, and I could even add a sidewalk in here, too, if I really wanted to. That can be something quick that you can do. It's just like, it's going to be like a teeny tiny sliver that you probably won't, you won't see much of it until it gets closer to you. Because remember, when things get closer to you, they get bigger. Did you see how I cheated right there and didn't use a ruler that time? Extra points for whoever caught that. All right, now we're gonna go now. We did a side street here. So now I can add more buildings over here, which is super cool. Or at least I think so. So I'm gonna add a building right here on this street now. I'm gonna make my building come out maybe right about here. Well, it seems like it would make sense for it to be sort of at the same level as this one. So let me make sure I check myself. Okay, there's that. I'm gonna make this building go off the edge. Then this building is going to be super tall. I'm going to start out real tall in the beginning here. Bam. Okay. And then over here, and I'm going to make that. Okay. Wouldn't be able to see through the building, so got to get rid of the horizon line. And side of the building. So now vanishing point and top edge. Little slant, depending on how long you want to make that building. Vertical line. All right, there's that. All right, so you're just gonna keep on going, adding buildings until it's completely full. All right, and I think I lied about doing the roof lines because I wanna give you this week to just completely fill your paper. Really, at this point, I only have to add like 1 or 2 more buildings in here to have it be, totally ready for the next time. So next time, what my plan is, we are going to learn about how to add, elements that are going to make it actually start to look like buildings instead of boxes, right? So we're going to learn about how to create roof lines. We're going to learn about how to create windows and make them look real or make it look like the whole building's made of glass. Okay, this one I even did a little bit of sort of like a dome shape. So those are all things that are coming next week. If you want to kind of experiment with it and go forward, feel free. Okay, so this one I even added some other little details and elements to it. So feel free to experiment with that if you'd like. Just go lightly in pencil so that you can erase if you, feel like you want to. All right. So here again, this is one that was a student artwork. It's a little bit more developed. It's got some cool details going on, even a roof pool. I always thought that was a really cool idea. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well and hang in there. I want you guys really this week to just fill your whole paper with buildings. So have fun with it. Make sure that you are holding your ruler flush and also using the vanishing point for those diagonal lines. And I will catch up with you next week. All right. Bye, guys.